How to become a wealthy nomad fast. How to join the Nomad Elite. If you want to become one of the elite, the Nomad Elite, then you want to watch this video, okay? Because so many of you guys have been wondering, how can I achieve more? How can I beef up my bank account? How can I get more residencies? How can I create more options? Well, this is the video that will allow you to do that. Regardless of your business, your category, what your job is, this video will help you improve your output, okay? I'm gonna make this guarantee because these things that we're gonna talk about in today's video are all things that you can control, and you can control how much time and money you spend and ultimately change the trajectory of your life, and the results also come as a consequence of following what I'm teaching you in this video. The number one thing that you can consider, okay, is you move to a place where you don't know anybody. And this sounds scary. We're talking about a new city, a new area, potentially a new state or a new country. And if you want to become more, okay, if you want to achieve more, if you want to create more financial success, if you want to just get ahead in business, in your personal life, whatever your objectives are, you may be doing better when you're alone for a number of reasons, okay? Fewer distractions, fewer things to spend money on. People can call you and ask you to go out with them on weekends or even in the afternoons and evenings during the week. When you live in a place where you don't know anybody, then this is just fantastic. In terms of work, you're gonna get a lot more done. And I don't mean you're not gonna meet new people at the new place. It certainly will happen. However, you're setting yourself up for success. So moving to an area or a country where you don't know anybody is oftentimes one of the best things you can do. It's one of the fastest ways to escape distractions that are caused by relatives, by friends, or even by people who you live with. You know, let's say you have like roommates, you know, that tend to convince you all the time. You know, all of these little details that become automatic, they can change our results in the long term. So we want to pay very close attention to all of these little details. The second thing, which is kind of married to the first point that we had, that we just talked about, is do not furnish your apartment or house. This is a big statement here because it's like, you want me to move to a place where I don't know anybody and you're also telling me to not furnish my home? What kind of life is that? You know, it doesn't sound very exciting, but let me tell you this. I want you to focus on the following, okay? When you live in a place that is unfurnished, like this apartment right here, my friend, it's unfurnished. What you see here, it's the only thing that's in this room, okay? There's nothing else in it. And the painting there, and I've done this for a purpose. It's not that I don't have the money, you know, to spend a few $100 more on furniture or a few thousand. That's not the point. And of course, you want to focus on all of this, all of what we're talking about, that we're addressing in this video is all about creating more time, creating more money, and ultimately, as a consequence, creating more opportunities. When you have as few distractions as possible, that's when you can focus more on the things that matter, on the things that lead to higher performance. This is super important. So when you live in a place, okay, when you live in an apartment or a house where you don't have furniture, the following thing happens, okay? There's no TV for you to turn on. That's great, because the TV is usually one of the biggest distractions. It's just how it is. Or if if your place is very cluttered, you know, there's so much for you to look at, to get sidetracked and to not pay the fullest attention to what you're working on. And of course, this video is for digital business owners. You know, I have to really emphasize this. It is for people who work online, who want to get more out of their nomad journey. Because what you need to be a successful nomad, what you need to join the Nomad Elite is income, okay? And most of us have digital businesses. We have digital income. We have income from online businesses, you know, whatever, e-commerce, social media. We have income from coaching programs, from services that we sell, or many of you have income from crypto. Doesn't matter where your income originates from, you want to have as much attention on this very topic, whatever your income stream is, as possible. There's really no way around it, okay? So you want to do this. This is super, super, super important. And when you live in a place, okay, first of all, you're not going to spend a lot of money furnishing the place. And when you move to a new place where you don't know anybody, which is the first point that we talked about in this video, you have also fewer distractions and you spend less time on doing things that are not important. And you also don't have much time or any time at all to hang out with with people who you know, because you move to a new place where you don't know anybody. So that's great. And then at home, you don't have a TV where, well, you know, you're bored and you just turn the TV on for time to pass. You don't want to get into this situation. And that doesn't mean you can't pick up the phone and make some phone calls and be social, and you should do that, okay? Anything that's too extreme is usually not good, even though this video sounds pretty extreme, and it probably is. If you have never lived this kind of life, it is very extreme, probably almost sounds like a cult. It works, okay? It sounds controversial, but it works. I've done it many times and it works. Whenever I'm alone, when I'm in a new place where I don't know anybody, I get the most done. Unless I'm with people who really understand the business I'm in and the sacrifice that's associated with building this business to the level I want it to be. And you have to make the same decision for yourself, okay? Am I gonna sacrifice now the most important time of my life? And at what stage you're at right now, I have no idea what stage you're at in your life. However, I want you to take this time, you know, because if you're watching this video, if you're still watching this video today, chances are you want to get more out of life. You want to create more financial success. You want to create more and new opportunities for yourself, because at the end of the day, finances, funds, money is everything. You know, you can't do anything without money in today's society, because we are international entrepreneurs. We are international nomads, right? We love to travel. We love exploring new places. And because of that, we need to make some sacrifices. There's really no way around it, okay? And so I really want to emphasize this point, you know, now that we're talking about living in an empty place, which is odd. When I first started doing it, it felt really weird. It felt like, you know, I don't have any gratification at all. But after time, I realized that this is not permanent. And you can run this approach for intervals. You can go to a place, say, for 3 months, okay? If you've never done it, do it for a shorter period of time. Get used to it, get accustomed to it, get a feel for it. You know, if you have hard time, you know, imagine doing this for like a year, see if you can do it for a month. Okay, if you can't, well, you have to try harder. And then if you can do it for a month, maybe you can do it for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you know? So you gradually increase your acceptance layer towards this new unknown environment of yours. And this is really crucial because, again, and I know this may not be possible if you're married with kids, so I'm gonna make this disclaimer, or if you have any kind of family commitments at home, you have to take care of an elderly relative of yours, you know, you have to make this decision. So my assumption in this video is that you are a sole nomad with no serious commitments and you have a burning desire to build financial freedom. This is for the people out there who desire financial freedom. If this is you, I implemented it and it works. Anytime I do it, I just get more done. I create better results. More things happen in life that I want for the long term, and that's what you can do as well. Next, you want to eat less, fewer meals. And this now sounds even worse because now we're already cutting down on furniture, you know, we're cutting down on the people we communicate with and all of this stuff, you know. Now we also have to cut down on how much we eat. That doesn't sound very entertaining. That doesn't sound very satisfying at all. I know, I get it. It's not forever. It's a disciplined plan that allows you to have better energy, because whenever you eat something, especially if it's a high calorie meal, especially if it contains, you know, lots of fat, sugar, and salt, you're gonna have a hard time being productive. It's just a matter of fact. Because the food that you fuel your body, it's gonna take a lot of effort for your system to process food. Okay, and the more you eat, there are many people who eat 5 to 7 times a day, and some of them eat big meals. I mean, it's gonna be impossible for you to become a high-performing nomad. It's just a matter of fact. So what you can do is you eat less. You still have to eat because your body needs energy, and the more you work, the more calories you burn because your brain uses a lot of energy. Another big point is that you want to work out. You want to be in good shape, okay? You want to do whatever helps you to retain high levels of energy. Jogging, swimming, going to the gym, playing tennis, ping pong, whatever, you know, working out at home, doing yoga, meditation, whatever you can do, do it, because you're gonna need it even more. Because once you have formed this new routine, once you have formed this new self-image of yours, it's gonna be hard to let go, because you will have developed a cycle that creates unimaginable results that are gonna be addictive, okay? These results are gonna be addictive because you're gonna be so proud of what you have accomplished because of your personal contribution and because of the unimaginable sacrifices that you have made. Then you don't want to go back to the other cycle where you had these instant instantaneous gratification moments, these very gratifying dopamine releases that sure made you happy and made you feel good in many ways. And breaking a cycle is always hard. As much as it is hard to break a comfortable cycle, it will be hard breaking a seemingly uncomfortable cycle that you have gotten used to. And this is something that you have to experience to really know that what I'm talking about is actually how it works. Any cycle that you're in is hard to break, because at the end of the day, even being uncomfortable for a long enough period of time gets your brain in a certain mode. It gets your brain in the mode of getting used to it. And once you're used to being uncomfortable, and once this becomes your new identity, your self-image has changed, you don't want to go back because you're going to be just amazed by how much you achieve. It doesn't mean that you're not going to change over to another cycle, because you will. You want to eat protein, you want to eat carbohydrates, you want to eat fruits and veggies, and take supplements if you decide to cut down on certain things, because the last thing that you want is a deficiency. Don't want that. So make sure you consult with a nutritionist, with a professional, because what I'm telling you here, may be extreme, and you have to supplement certain things if you cut down on food temporarily to increase your output, because the dopamine releases that you have gotten used to that originated from, say, salty, fatty, and sugary food, those will be minimized during this time, because it's the only way that you can funnel more energy towards the thing that matters the most, which is to create financial freedom and to create nomad freedom in your life. And you can do it. Another big thing that's very true for all the guys watching this video is that you have to stop watching porn. Stop watching porn now. It decreases your sexual energy. It decreases your output. It's terrible in so many ways. And then at the end of the day, there will be a time when you start dating again, and it creates all kinds of relationship problems, all kinds of irritation problems down there. Trust me, it is not a good thing. I know being alone and not having anyone to, share your love desires with can be frustrating, and so porn seems to be the path of least resistance, the cheapest path, and it creates a lot of problems though, okay? It creates an unreal world for you, and it also subtracts from your good energy. And you want to use your good energy as much as possible for the things that matter the most at any given time. And since we're talking about creating a successful business or just creating more income, whatever you want to get out, you want to use as much of your energy as possible on the thing that matters the most, which is to create results. Which leads us to another point: stop with short-term encounters, okay? You know what we're talking about here, okay? One night stands, all that kind of stuff, stop it immediately. It's a waste of time, especially now that you're focused on creating wealth, becoming a wealthy nomad. You wanna become one of the Nomad Elite. You wanna stop doing this, immediately, if you can. Everything that we're talking about in this video is about breaking habits, bad habits. And too much short-term fun in the bedroom is a bad habit. It's a matter of fact. It takes your energy away, your creative energy, from what you can do. And you don't want that, because you're looking to create results, okay? And the question is, where do you want to create results in, okay? Do you want to increase your body count? Is that what you want? Or do you want to increase your business results? You choose. So make sure you change that, okay? And it may be hard to change, depending on what cycle you're in right now and depending on what your current habits are. But if you're doing this a lot, man, you are really wasting a lot of your energy and time and money too. And then 10 to 20 years later, you will meet a lot of people who will say, you know what? I spent the last 10 to 20 years to build an amazing business, to build amazing wealth, and now I can do whatever I want to do because I made these sacrifices in my 20s, in my 30s, and in my 40s. And you are going to be sitting there with that person, also in your 60s, and you're going to be like, well, I socialized a lot, I was an alcoholic, I took drugs, I had 417 one-night stands, I slept with so and so many women, but I have no money, I have no security, I have no wealth. So you choose what you create, my friend. There's no excuses. You can break any habits that you have, and you make that decision. So whatever you do right now is going to create a habit, and that habit is going to create a certain result. There's really no way to change that unless you change here, you change your thinking. And once you change your thinking, sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want. But the energy needs to be funneled differently than what you're doing right now. If you want more success, do it. Everything that we talked about today will ultimately lead to you losing less money, time, and energy. And it will ultimately lead you to greater levels of success in your business, in your professional life. It will make you more successful, and many of these things will also make you happier in many ways. Because when you create results through your personal contribution and you create a life of purpose, you living a purposeful life will make all the difference. And you can change this through the actions that you take every single day. So to summarize the things that we talked about that will help you create more results, consider these things again, okay? I'm not forcing you to do anything here, and this is my disclaimer. This has worked for me, it may not work for you, but it has worked for me, and I'm passing on to you what has worked for me because I care about you and I want you to have the best success possible. And I don't want you to be in your 60s or 70s and look back, to your earlier lives and be like, you know what, I could have done more, I could have sacrificed more, and I could have preserved more to live a better life now. I don't want you to be in this situation, so please consider this. And to summarize now what we talked about is consider moving to a neighborhood, an area, a state, a country where you don't know anyone. That's great. If you can do it for a certain amount of time, do it. It will really free you up in many ways. Then the second thing that you can do, which is also kind of hardcore, but it did work for me a lot, is when you don't furnish your place too much, okay? Live in an unfurnished apartment. You want to have some furniture, especially, your bedroom, that's important, but also where you work, that's important too. But don't clutter your place, forget about the TV and some fun stuff, forget about it. Then 3, you want to eat less. That's very important, because food, it puts a lot of pressure on your body. It's heavy duty for your body, so you want to reduce how much food you take in and only take valuable food into your system, okay? So healthy foods, that's very, very important too. 4, stop watching porn. Okay, this is not good, so please stop doing it. 5, stop short-term encounters. Stop all the one-night stand stuff. Stop all the quickie stuff, all of that. Stop it, just for some time, okay? If you're really into that, stop it for some time. And whenever you want to get back to the fun stuff that you consider fun, do it later on. Once you have preserved wealth, once you have preserved your professional career, you can always get back to it later. But for now, just pause it or terminate it altogether if you can. Are you ready to become one of the Nomad Elite? Are you ready to take your life to the next level? And are you ready to make more money? What are your thoughts? What's your take on this topic? If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, hit that red subscribe button, click the notification bell. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching Nomad Elite, and we see you on the next video.